Alright, so now that we have Java installed in our machine, let's move on to the first of the Android tools, which is called the Android Software Development Kit, or Android SDK. As you can see, we already are in the Android Developer Portal. This is a very nice, huge portal full of interesting tools for you to learn, like training materials, API guides, and references. So let's start by clicking on the Download the SDK for Windows link and watch the installer download. Depending on your network connection, this may take longer to download, so be patient. Looks like it didn't take too long in my case, so I'm good. Once it finishes downloading, just click on it and get it to run. It's a wizard, so it's a no-brainer. Just hit next. It's going to look for the Java JDK that we downloaded and installed on the previous video. So it already found it. Here it is, version 1.7. Hit next. Install it for everyone in your computer just in case. And here's something I do different. You can keep the default location. It's going to go to program files. But remember that this is a protected folder in Windows. So I like to put things somewhere else myself. So I'm going to go to the computer folder, and I'm going to look for the C drive, and I'm going to go for users, and I'm going to go to public. And I always have this testbed folder. That's just me. You can put it anywhere else you want as well, or keep the default like I said. Anyway, hit next and wait until it unzips and copies everything to the hard drive. This won't take too long. And once it finishes, make sure you have this checkbox set so it starts the Software Development Kit Manager. So hit finish, and this is our first view at the real Android development environment. Now remember from previous readings on Unit 1, you already know that Android has been released from years back as release names, which happen to be Cupcake and Ice Cream Sandwich and now Jelly Bean. Now it happens that each one of these releases has an API level number. So you can see here the history of Android, not all of it, but most of it, from API 3 all the way up to API 16, which is the latest one as of October 2012. This is Jelly Bean. So what the SDK Manager allows us to do is to download all the files and APIs and guides and tools and samples for each of the releases. This is good to have in case you want to develop for multiple release versions. Or else, if you want to develop for an older version of a tablet or a smartphone, you may have to download a previous version. But for now, to keep it simple, let's just go for the latest release, which is API 16, Jelly Bean, Android 4.1.2, which is already checked for us. And we will need to download all the Android tools for this to work. So install 9 packages, hit the button here. Every release has a bunch of different components, each one of which may have a license that you may have to accept. If you don't want to accept every license by itself, click on Accept All and you'll save yourself some mouse clicks. So hit Install, and once again you'll see how it starts downloading things. And just like as before, depending on the speed of your network connection, this is going to take longer or it may be faster, depends on you. So let's just watch for now and see what happens. Some of you may see a window at the same time as you download components where it's showing you the progress. It shows you which package is being downloaded, unzipped, and installed. And you can see the progress by looking at the list below Android 4.1.4.2, that is documentation for Android SDK, SDK platform, samples, and so on. And you can also see in the lower portion of the window how it's doing the same thing. It keeps a progress bar for you. So for example, you can see right now how it's downloading the Intel x86 Atom System image, which happens to be right in the middle of the list. So I'm halfway through. A little bit more than halfway through. Alright, so it's done. And you can see now that we have all the tools ready, as well as a PI level 16. That finishes this video. Next, we're going to take a look at what was downloaded and installed, and we'll start the AVD Manager. If you have any questions regarding download, as always, feel free to contact me. Try this out, and good luck.